Guess what? We're back again with more Q&As. Why? Because everyone said, Jay, give me more Q&As. I want to see exactly, precisely, specifically, how do you translate and transform your general ideas, your strategies, your concepts, your belief system, your ideology to very specific and individualized business scenarios. Get ready. 3 more. First one, somebody asked me, how in the world can I take your ideas and market a veterans association? How do I market an association, an organization of a certain category of people to the target audience? Cost effectively, successfully, quickly, with limited capital. Watch and see my answer. Number 2 person, Jay, I need to raise capital for a movie idea I've got. I have no money. I've got an intangible idea. How can I do it? Help me. I did. Finally, this last one's going to be fun. A woman from Greece doing a startup was trying to get clarity on how in the world to make it work, how to generate the cash flow, how to get the market, how to build the relationship, all with a limited capital and even more limited infrastructure and resources and more limited experience. Guess what? 3 complex questions, 3 extraordinarily direct and very actionable answers, each one of which you can adapt, adopt, borrow, and implement in your business in some way right away. Have fun. Take notes. See you soon.
Good afternoon, Jay.
Hi.
I have a veterans organization. My name is Marshall Berman. I'm from Thomasville, Georgia.
Okay.
And I was wondering how would be the best way to market a piece of intellectual property to fund my organization.
Well, I can't answer that unless you give me a little clarity on what the intellectual property is.
The intellectual property is, it was founded by my wife and I, who, she's usually the president of a veterans organization, and I'm usually the commander. And she makes cakes. And the cakes that she makes during Veterans Day celebrations and everything are like flags and red, white, and blue, different types of ribbons and such as that. And so I came up with the idea of coining the word called patriotics. And I was wondering how the best way to market that. I have some ideas, but...
Yeah, were you just trying to market the phrase?
Well, possibly, I see something like a bakery that could use it for some of these...
Yeah, well, you could test it. I mean, one of the things a lot of people do, and it's a little bit... the question that's the closest to self-serving, and I'm not trying to be critical, I'm being clinical, it's been asked, but I'll try to answer it a little bit general so everyone can get a benefit out of it. A lot of people want to sell something that they haven't validated that there's a market interest in, and I think that's a grotesque disservice to yourself, certainly, but to the marketplace. Secondly, go out at your own risk, find a couple of bakeries, do a bunch of tests, validate that there's a way that it's viable, that it either enhances or doesn't. See if there's a mail-order bakery maybe that has a very strong in with a lot of conservative publications or religious people who tend to be patriotic, I mean, in that kind of a sense, and see how many ways you, with your intellectual sweat, with your capital, your modest capital, can validate. Then when it's valid, you're taking a winner. It's very easy to sell a winner. It's very hard to sell a supposition or conjecture or guesstimate. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay, that's all I can answer. I'm sorry. Good luck.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Hi, Jay. Thank you, first of all.
You're welcome.
Wanted to ask, looking for creative ways to raise money for a film. It's a kids' martial art movie, and also for a chain of yoga martial art studios.
Those are 2 questions. Which one you want to answer?
The kids' karate movie.
Is it like a major movie? How much do you need to raise?
$1.5 million.
Well, let me tell you the key. I mean, there's 3 or 4 ways to raise capital. One is causal. You got to find somebody who's so really involved in it. The other is somebody who really knows that they're going to get an absolute high return, high probability, their money isn't going to be lost, and they're going to have control. What you might do, I've done a lot of work with martial arts studios, so as Chet, you might go to a bunch of the organizations or the sellers of product services to the martial arts and see if there's a way, and again, I'm not an investment counselor because you might be dealing in the world of accredited investors and I'm not giving advice, talk to your attorney, but what you might do is pre-sell it before it's done, you know, even, and get a bunch of martial artists to each, if they're accredited investors, to pop for 10 grand and they get the rights to, there's something called four-walling where you go into, you know what that is, right?
Yeah.
So say you guys put up 10 grand, when it's done, oh, we got to get our million done, then you guys can four-wall it in your market and you can use it as not only a source of revenue, but as a lead generator for more students. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, you're welcome.
Hello, and thank you.
You're welcome.
I kind of have two questions, and
Ask
maybe
one.
just one.
Yep.
I came all the way from Greece, so maybe one and
So
a half.
did they came all the way from, where'd you come from?
Okay, good.
Idaho.
Idaho. It's almost as far. I came from my room upstairs. You get one or none. Your
Okay.
choice. I don't care.
It's a startup business, and the question is, it has to do with fashion and personal shopping. And the question is, it's innovative where I'm doing it. And the question is, if the market is unconventional or quite strange, how do you work with
product
a
or the
startup?
market?
The market.
Okay.
How do you? And it's innovative product. How
Okay.
do you work with such a market, and what do you try when you're a startup?
You got to find strategic alliances and joint ventures, because unless you got very deep capital base, you're gonna probably flounder. You find somebody else who's already got access to the cutting edge or the non-traditional or the non-linear or the early adopter market, and you do a joint venture with them, and they get two things. They get half of the profit, but you give them a bonus, what do you call it? You give them, as an addition, an option to get equity in the business if it goes, so that they're incentivized to really push for you and help you find the answer. It's the only way you can do it, or you're going to go through all your capital.